YouTube, what's going on? It's your girl Telly. Welcome back to TelliVision87. You already know what time it is. Let's get into this review. SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B. We on episode 3, okay? So y'all been seeing what's going on in the blogs about Candy wanting, well, basically Xscape want to be the headliners, but Candy's been, it's been Candy's face out there. So we're going to get into that. That comes at the very end of the show. But I got my little notes today, y'all, because going off the top was just not working for your girl. So I got my notes as I don't want to miss anything. So first things first, we kind of see, the ladies with their families, but in really quick, clips. So we see Tiny with her kids trying to teach Eris to just kicking it, the moves and everything, which is cute. You see Candy with little Ace. He's talking about his YouTube channel and how he got all these subscribers, like 17,000. I think Candy said now it's 18,000 when she did her speak on it, which we will also be getting into that as well. And then we see Tamika in the kitchen cooking up something. Her daughter's in there. She's asking her daughter, like, oh, how was school today? Did you have a good day? And she was like, you already asked me that. And Tamika's like, where you get all that mouth from? You get that from your daddy's side of the family, or maybe it's from my side of the family. I don't know, but we'll see in a second why Tamika is in the kitchen whipping up all this food. So before we get to that, Tasha meets up with Taj at the the music museum. Okay, they're going down memory lane. It's all the greats from hip-hop, R&B, soul, like everything. And we come to the wall with Xscape and SWV. They're going back down memory lane, and it was really interesting. Taj dropped some Destiny's Child, tea from back in the day. Now, I didn't know this, but apparently back in the day, Destiny's Child, when they were just first starting out, they used to look up SWV when they would come to Houston, and like SWV would take them on album signings, and just kind of be like mentors to them, which I thought was really, really cool. That was something I didn't know. If y'all knew, then, let me know, because I had no idea. But I thought that was a little fun fact. So they get into what is going on. Todd is like, what is going on between you and your sister? Tasha proceeds to tell her everything but Tamika accusing her and Rocky of stealing the money. Of stealing her money. So Todd is like, wait a minute. I know y'all not, fighting over no little booties, because Tasha was saying, oh, my sister body shamed me, and then she disrespected my mom, and yada, yada, yada. Well, Taj was like, there's something deeper going on. It cannot just be about something so simple like little booties and body shaming. So Taj was like, I don't know what they got going on. I hope they get to the bottom of it, but I'm not trying to get into all of that, but hope they work it out. So after we see that scene, whoa, my bad. I almost forgot. Tasha drops the bombshell that she wants to, she got a record deal, and Tasha's like, what's going on? Are you trying to leave the group? You want to go solo? Like, what's the deal? And Tasha says that she wants to be able to have more freedom. And I don't know why she had 30 years of freedom, all this time to do whatever she wanted to do. So the group is not holding her back. Tasha and Rocky, they holding Tasha back, okay? And like Candy says in her speak on it, go watch it. She says that everybody else seemed to do what they wanted to do in that period when they weren't together. So why all of a sudden Tasha is feeling like she was just, boxed in, chained up. So that's a no-go. But moving on to the next scene, we have Coco meeting up with her friends, that she's known for a long time, keep it real with her, been seeing her through all the ups and downs. And she mentions that she was diagnosed with bipolar depression, and she had to get on medication, and she knew something was really wrong because one day she just felt like she wanted to kill somebody. And at that point, she decided to go ahead and go to the doctor. And she said that the medication got her balanced. And, her friend even asked her, how are you feeling mentally these days? She's feeling great. And I'm glad that Coco spoke about that. And Tamika's been speaking about it too. Like, it's good to go to the doctor. It's good if your mental is not right. Go to counseling. Go to therapy. You're not crazy. Go ahead and go to the doctor. Figure out what the problem is and get some help, whatever you need. So I thought that was really cool for Coco to share that. Next we have Coco also says, baby, she may be 52, I think she said, but her P is 21, and that was just a fun little kiki moment. So let me know what you guys think about Coco revealing that she has bipolar depression. Next we see SWV. They have a show in Pittsburgh, so you see all the ladies getting together, traveling and everything. Taj plane running late, her flight late, so she's like rushing and scrambling, but they get there, they get it done, show goes off without a hitch. So now let's get to the scene why Tamika's cooking all of this food. She's cooking the food because she invited the mama over. They're gonna have a sit down to talk about what happened. I believe this was the very next day. We obviously see it, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, but I think in their taping, how it worked for them, this was the very next day. So everything was still super fresh. You could even see it. They're very apprehensive. When Tamika opens the door, the mom's standing there, they kind of just look at each other for a second. They look very super hesitant, reluctant, because both of them don't know what's about to happen when they start talking to each other. And that's the look that they had on their face, oh shoot, it's about to go down. And Tamika was like, come on in, They get to talking, and Tamika's expressing herself, how she's feeling, and they show to her confessional. Tamika says, yes, the mom was a housewife. When her and Tasha's dad left, her mom was struggling, but she was able to provide and get them everything that they needed. But of course they struggled. The mom went from being a housewife to having to get up and get out there and fend for herself and her kids. So she says that whenever the mom sees her, that is something that she still needs to get help about, talk about it, because she's still not over it. And Tamika said she was a daddy's girl. So that's what a lot of people have been saying. A lot of YouTubers who are reviewing the show, y'all kind of have the same kind of thought process when it comes to that. Because it's clear Tasha is treated much differently. And she is the 5th member of Xscape, because she put the girls on to singing. She put microphones in their hand and da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, no, mama. If that's the case, then Mama Joyce is a 5th member. Tiny Mama a 5th member. You know what I'm saying? Of course, all the parents have a contribution to, the success of their children. But that doesn't mean you could go around claiming that you are the 5th member and yada, yada, yada. But all in all, the mom does apologize. She said that of course, she loves her daughter, that she's sorry. They cry, they hug it out, but you could really see the hurt in Tamika's face. It's she wanna believe her mom, but at the same time, she was telling her like, hey, look, if we can't have a healthy relationship as an adult, then I'm gonna have to step back because I need my peace, and I can't keep going like this and being treated like this for the rest of my life. I've had it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with the mom, if she's gonna change. But the good thing about this show is that the mama can see herself on TV, because sometimes it just takes for people to see how crazy they look in order to start to change and see what Tamika's been talking about all these years. Because apparently the mom has been in denial or whatever. Don't see it. Well, you're going to see it now. We on these cameras. So you're going to have to face it either way. So we'll see what comes of that relationship moving forward. So the next scene, we have Candy and Taj. Like, I love Taj. She's just so cool. They meet up at Candy's spot, and Taj is telling her like, oh, I ran into somebody you know. I met up, with Tasha, and she was telling me that she's looking for a record deal. She got a record deal. She want to go solo. Candy, at this point, has no clue. So when Taj tell her that, Candy's like, oh, this is history repeating itself, because back in the day, when we had our third album, she used that as a stepping stool to pitch her solo deal. So Candy was like, oh, here we go again. So of course, Candy tells Tiny, and then Tamika finds out as well. Yeah, man, that's crazy. And Taj was sharing the same thing, like back in the day when Coco got her record deal and jumped ship. Taj said she was pissed. We all know Lily was pissed, and then Lily had some struggles, which we're going to get to now. So she's meeting up with her son. Her son is a rapper. She's like, hey, you're talented. I want to be there for you, but I don't want to do the work for you. So she's like, you got to get out there and make waves for yourself. Of course, I'm going to be there for you, but you can't use all of my resources. You got to, put your feet to the pavement as well. And one thing about Lily, I didn't know that she was an author. I didn't know she was writing books and having like a kind of, in the erotica family over there. But I think that's great. I remember from back in the day, her alter ego, Sister Hot Pamper, I believe is what she called it back then, but now it's Sister Hot Pussy. So that's her alter ego. That's like a character, and she's getting into the books and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad that she's in that space. And she mentioned, when her, Coco, Taj, when they went their separate ways, that she struggled. She was homeless at one point, had to sleep in her car. She would drive around at night because she didn't want to go to sleep, because she was afraid, of being harassed, abused, raped, whatever the case may be. So she would sleep when the sun started to come up in Yankee Stadium parking lot. And she, had to do what she had to do. But eventually she found a job, a regular 9-to-5. And she, got back on her feet. She took control of her life. So shout out to Lily, because most people wouldn't make it. You go from being a superstar to having nothing, and that could be very devastating. So shout out to her. That's another reason why I love this show, because you get the drama, you get the catty and the beefs and all that, but you get real life stories, and I love that. It's so genuine. They're so open to sharing. So once we get past that, we see Ike and Tina in the studio. Tasha, she getting her one of her tracks done for her record, And the song is cool. Like, the songs aren't bad songs, but ain't nobody checking for it because it's Tasha trying to promote it. It's like, girl, you can't have these inspirational records with a devilish spirit. Like, it doesn't work like that, sis. So she's recording. Rocky come in, and then he pointed to Tasha. He's like, well, you're gonna have to sing, anime, sing. And I think it's hilarious that he made that, that Ike Turner reference, because baby, that's what we've been calling him in these streets. So they're talking about if she even wants to do the show with SWV or not, with the group and SWV, period. She don't know what she want to do. So Rocky is like, you need to get in there and take that mic and show them who the heck you are and remind them, blah, 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 blah. It's just a hot mess. These two, okay? But yeah, at this point, Tasha still, she don't even know she want to do the show, period. And that's another thing that Candy says in her speak on it, was that this was dragging out like for months, to the point where everybody was starting to get aggravated during the filming process because nobody knew. She was holding up the entire process. So yeah, that's what Candy said in her speak on it. So next we have Coco and her freaking twin, Jalen, okay? They both sat down on that couch, crossed their legs the same way. They got the, like I said, it's uncanny how much they look alike. He is the male version of Coco. They on the couch chilling. He is expressing to Coco that he no longer wants to go to school for dentistry. He wants to pursue singing. Now, before Coco comes in the room, he's on his IG, he's recording himself singing. He has a nice voice. So the kid is talented, but Coco's like, you could sing on the weekend. You need to stay in school, get your degree, go to college. This is more stable, because she knows how wishy-washy the music industry is, and she does not want her son to have to go through all of this when he could, go to school for dentistry, something that he likes, but now he just decided he don't want to do that no more. They get Lady Tibba on the phone, Coco's mom. She's like basically saying the same thing that Coco is saying at first, but then Jalen starts crying. He gets really emotional about it. So, Lady Tibba, she's like, okay, well, you know what? If you want to take a year off from school to try to figure out what you want to do, we could compromise and meet in the middle somewhere. And Coco's like, well, dang, when I was coming up, it wasn't like this for me. But I think what a lot of grandparents tend to do, whatever mistakes they made with their children, they try to make up for it with their grandchildren. I hear that a lot. Like, the grandparents will get treated way differently, than the kids. So, it's like a second chance to do the right thing, to do things differently than the first go around. So, I mean, Coco's reluctant, but, she pissed off. She's not happy about it, but at the end of the day, she loves her son. She wants to support her son no matter what. So, yeah, man, that's crazy. So this is the part that has everybody in an uproar on social media. They get together, finally sit down. Even Tasha gets there. They put their hands in SWV and Xscape, but Tasha's sitting there like she don't even know she want to put her hand in, and they looking at her like, you're not gonna put your hand in? So she finally, just put her hand in there, but you could see the look on her face. She don't even want to be bothered with this, but she just gonna do it. It's like we said, it's her prop for her solo project. So she agrees to do it. So then we get to the business part. Fast forward to the business part. Candy is like, okay, well, I think Xscape should headline because well, first she says no disrespect, and I know we all don't see Kandi as being disrespectful. At least I don't. SWV is great, but from Kandi's point of view, she doesn't want to co-headline because they have closed the show. SWV has opened for them before, and I believe Don Juan put some receipts on on Instagram, you know, from previous flyers and whatnot. So, you know, you can see that SWV, they are, you know, clearly upset. They feel a little slighted, offended. They're like, well, why can't we just co-headline? But Kandi really broke it down in her speak on it, because my first reaction is like, yeah, co-headlining, no problem. But Kandi in her speak on it says that you know, if they are used to headlining in the past, that in order to now co-headline, Xscape has to come down with their money to try to make SWV feel more comfortable and come up a little bit. So Xscape don't want to do that. And she like doesn't want to get lowballed or whatever. So the same consistency that's been going on, that's how they want to keep it. And it has nothing to do with record sales from back in the day. Kandi's saying about who can get the most ticket sales, which name draws more ticket sales now. And Kandi and Tiny got a lot more fans, newer fans, from being on TV than SWV. So that is like her whole reasoning behind it. So let me know if y'all agree with that, or do you think that SWV just should have took it and just took the L, took a little bit of loss of money to co-headline? Because also what Kandi said was that originally this was supposed to be a tour and not just one show. So she was coming at them in terms of an entire tour. That's why she was saying SWV open, Xscape close, Xscape headliner, blah 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 blah. So now that it was just like it ended up just being one show, then it was like, well, why can't you just co-headline one show? But that's not what was going on at the time of, you know, that scene being taped, according to Kandi. But yeah, that was a whole drama. SWV walkout, they have said Coco like, I ain't opening for nobody, I sold 30 million records, be it. And Kandi had to come with her receipts on, speak on it, and just, you know, clarify some things. So let me know what you guys think about the episode. We halfway through, only 3 more episodes, you know, we're like on the edge of our seats over here. So I'm really, really enjoying this show. I'm enjoying speak on it. I'm waiting for Tamika to drop her video. I want Tiny to start dropping, you know, her viewpoints of everything going on. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting rest of you know, the season. So I believe next week we'll really get into them rehearsing and getting the logistics of the show together, in the production of the show together, which will be fun to watch. So let me know what you guys think about everything. And also, this kind of has to do with Kandi, but if y'all saw that Watch What Happens live clip last night when Tamar brought up the whole, well, she didn't bring it up, viewer asked a question and she responded like, you know, kind of in good Tamar fashion, and that whole thing got brought up again about supposedly Kandi and Todd coming at her crazy backstage at a concert. And yeah, so everybody's been talking about that, as well as if Xscape was being disrespectful to SWV because they wanted to headline. So drop your thoughts about that down below. It's your girl TelliVision87 is the channel, and I will be back with another review for y'all soon. All right, until then, peace.